there. My name's Alex Becker. I'm the firefighter advanced EMT. I'm the engineer for engine 41 today, and I'm just going to take you through a quick little tour of what we have on the truck. We've got a little bit of everything because we're a catch-all and we handle all sorts of emergencies within inside the city limits. Starting at the front, we've got our front bumper load. This is what we typically use for car fires or something that's not really too far away from the fire truck. It wouldn't be something that we would typically pull inside of like a house or another large building. We've also got our crash kit, which has got a whole bunch of tools specific for auto extrication. So we've got a blanket to cover up patients with. We've also got like windshield saws, glass punches, things like that. So, like I said, I'm the engineer for the day. So my seat's the driver's seat right here. I'm pretty much in charge of making sure all the equipment stays on the truck, the crews get all the stuff that they need, and getting us to the scene safely. That's pretty much my largest role for the day. Back in the back here, we've got the backstep firefighter for the day. He's pretty much the workhorse of the entire truck. So he's the one that's gonna be pulling hose lines or getting out ladders for smoke detectors or fires. He's also in charge of the EMS equipment in the back that we have, and we have a bunch of EMS equipment on here because we try and provide the best patient care either when the other ambulance is out and we're the closest responding fire piece within the city. So we can do all the ALS level procedures off of the fire engine. This is kind of the meat and potatoes of the fire engine. So we call this the pump panel. And the reason that I'm called the engineer for the day is this is my main responsibility if we do have a fire today. So my job is to get water from the tank of the truck, which we've got 1,000 gallons on this truck. And so we can kind of get started on our fire attacks without having to hook up to a hydrant quite yet. With a hydrant, this is kind of what we're using for the hydrant, and this is how we hook up, and I just choose where to send the water to. It looks like a lot, but with some training and a lot of skills, you can really get a good handle on it. This compartment's kind of our hand tools, so we've got a little bit of everything. The other thing that we try and maximize the space on the engine. So for all of us working at fires, obviously we have a limited amount of air, so we keep extra air cylinders here for us to be breathing with. So they're kind of stashed all over the truck. Back here, we kind of call this like our power tool compartment, saw compartment. So we've got chainsaw, we've got a rotary concrete saw, but we can use that for like garage doors as well. Leaf blower, that's actually really handy for blowing kind of some of that tough debris off the road. Sawzall, always useful. There's 100 different uses for that. And then obviously the chainsaw we can use to more frequently cut up trees that fall on the road, but there actually is a firefighting use for it as well. In very specific circumstances where we will cut a hole in somebody's roof in order to alleviate some of the heat that might be in a house. So that's its primary purpose. I can promise you it cuts up trees more than it does that. So if we come around the rear of the engine, this is kind of the business end of the truck. So this is where all of our hose loads come off of. And we like to call them attack lines because our job is to put out fire. So off the back, we've got two of our primary attack lines. That would be the green and the blue line. We've also got the larger length red hose. That would be like for getting around to the rear of a house. That's kind of our primary. Then in the middle, that's our hydrant hose. So we're carrying a whole bunch of that. It makes it easy to, not specifically in town because we've got hydrants pretty close, but if we do end up going mutual aid to like Turtle Creek or South Lebanon, maybe Mason or Deerfield, their hydrants may be farther away. And so we carry a whole bunch of extra for that specific reason. We've also got a large diameter attack line over here that we use for much larger fires, right? So something that we say in the fire service is big fire, big water, and we try and adhere to that. In the back here, we've also got our battery-powered fan. That is primarily for getting smoke out of a house. We've also got the hydrant bag here, right? So this whole thing comes out nice and easy on the back. Hydrant bag is what we use to primarily hook up to hydrants. There's all sorts of different sizes. So we've got adapters of all different types that sit in this hydrant bag. The idea is that somebody would grab this webbing portion of it, and they would grab the hydrant bag and they can just walk to the hydrant. So that's kind of the line of thinking that we have. Back here in these 5-gallon buckets, nothing fancy, it's just floor dry. Cat litter would be probably something that people are more familiar with, but we use that to wipe up fluids in the roadway. We don't want to make it hazardous for anybody driving, make the road slick, have something go into the grass and kill all the grass. We don't want to do that. So we carry 10 gallons of floor dry or kitty litter, if that's what you want to remember it as. So we kind of have split up the truck in 2 different portions. I would say that the side of the truck that you just saw would be the fire side of it. So everything on that side is related to firefighting in some way. This side of it, I would say, would be like the rescue side. So we have a lot of our auto extrication, a lot of our stabilization equipment. We've also got some other specialty equipment for some of the unique hazards that we have here in Lebanon. Also, like I said, rescue side, I know that ground ladders may not seem like a rescue thing, but the primary function that we carry these ladders for is to rescue someone out of their bedroom window that they may be stuck inside their house. We want to be able to make access to them and get to them as quickly as possible. So that's why we have the ground ladders on this side as well. Over in this compartment, right, this is kind of our auto extrication compartment. So we've got a pair of battery-powered spreaders. They're huge. They spread any car that you could think of. They could probably cut up this engine. We've also got the cutters as well. And like I said, the best part about it is that they're battery-powered. So we keep spare batteries on the truck, and that allows us to continue on with the rescue efforts whenever we may need them. You may be wondering what all the wood is for. We use that to stabilize under vehicles. So kind of like when we're pushing against something, we don't want to push the floorboard down, we're trying to lift the dash up. So we have a whole bunch of cribbing for auto stabilization. We've also got these heavy duty lifting airbags that we use to, if somebody were to be pinned in a precarious position, we can use those air cylinders like I was showing you. We can hook up to these airbags and it allows us to lift heavy objects, not a huge amount, but enough to get the patient out. This compartment's a little bit cramped, but we've also got some more auto extrication stuff in here, some less used items. So if you were to see like a car on its side, we've got these struts that you can put on the side of the car that will help stabilize the vehicle. We also have a standpipe kit in here, so for our apartment complexes that need water supplied through a standpipe, something you might see in like a large hotel. We have some of them in a smaller format around here. That bag is specifically for indicating pressure on the inside of the standpipe and all the other things that you could possibly need while you're on the inside. The last compartment that we have right here, this is kind of a hybrid of EMS and other rescue functions. This is our favorite piece, I would say, the Lucas device. This is an automated CPR machine. It allows us to maximize our manpower on the engine much more efficiently. Like I said, on the engine, we're also dual certified, either as an EMT or as a paramedic. And so we can provide all the ALS functions for hypercritical calls, even if the ambulance isn't around. Even with that being said, we do go on all the other critical calls as well, and we try and provide that ER level experience in the back of the ambulance. Sometimes getting all the steps done in order to properly assess a patient takes a long time with 2 people, so we go on all the critical calls as well, just for extra manpower, and it expedites the EMS transport to the hospital. This orange bag right here, this would be our RIT pack. So RIT stands for Rapid Intervention Team. This is what we would use for downed firefighters. So part of our training is rescuing your own. And so we carry a much larger version of the air cylinders that you saw earlier. And we keep spare masks and things like that, where if we were to have a medical emergency or overcome by heat or things like that, we have the ability to rescue our own. Some of the other things that we have in here is we have a whole cache of rope rescue equipment. Like I said, it's not exactly high angle and cliffs and mountains like you would see maybe out west, but it does make it more stable for the crews to maybe employ rope rescue getting somebody off of a roof, or maybe going down a highway embankment. That's really what those things are used for. We're not operating in that super high angle environment all the time. So this right here is where the backstep sits. He typically sits over here. If we have a fourth, we sit him on the other side. And again, he's in charge of all the ALS equipment that we have back here. So we have the capabilities of the LifePak 15 monitor is what we're carrying on the inside. So we have the ability to defibrillate. We have the ability to read cardiac rhythms and tell if people are having heart attacks. So that's a real asset for the department, that this engine, albeit not being able to transport, is able to provide those level of services, even if another medic unit is coming from farther away. Working towards the front, this is where the boss man sits, lieutenant for the day, and he's pretty much in charge of directing the truck, making decisions on fire scenes, and making sure that the crew is operating within the capacity that they've been given for whatever task or assignment that they're doing. So I hope that you learned a whole bunch and kind of see why we carry so much stuff on the fire truck, and stop by at Station 41 if you ever want an in-person tour.